Hola, buenas tardes. Hoy viernes 24 de febrero, aquí estamos de nuevo en nuestro programa Doral Adaptan por la emisora Doral Voice. Un nuevo programa, como siempre agradecer a Silvia Maya en Master Control por el milagro de que ustedes nos vean y nos escuchen en la forma profesional que lo hacen. Primero que todo vamos a hacer un minuto para nuestro sponsor del programa. Vamos a ver un pequeñísimo video y vamos a hablar de nuestro sponsor para inmediatamente comenzar. Simplemente recordarles que este programa llega a ustedes gracias al generoso patrocinio de Segurmédica, una destacada empresa de asesoría y venta de seguros de salud y vida nacionales e internacionales. En Segurmédica, su tranquilidad es nuestra prioridad, ya que ofrecemos la mejor asesoría profesional para hacer que sus seguros sean aún más seguros. Pueden contar con nuestra amplia experiencia en el mercado para encontrar el seguro adecuado para sus necesidades, garantizando su protección en todo momento. Gracias Segurmédica por su valioso apoyo y confianza en nuestro programa. Para contactarnos, el número telefónico 786-853-3219. Por allí pueden contactar directamente a Rafael Urribarri o inclusive a mi persona Elsa Delgado para que podamos apoyarlos y guiarlos en cualquier necesidad de seguro que ustedes tengan en un momento determinado. Dicho esto, hoy vamos a tener un programa. Nuestro programa hoy va a ser en inglés. Tenemos una artista americana. Es la primera vez que tenemos una artista de habla inglesa acá en el programa, lo cual me parece que es fabuloso, porque precisamente este programa se llama Doral Art and Beyond. Y Beyond significa que no podemos quedarnos no solamente ni en el Doral, ni en la Florida, podemos ser, y no solamente en el idioma español. Tenemos que ir Beyond, tenemos que ir un poco más allá. Hoy vamos a tener un programa que un tema que me encanta porque es esa relación íntima que debe haber entre el artista y el curador. Una relación que si el artista y el curador no se conocen de una forma casi íntima en el sentido de conocer sus necesidades desde el punto de vista emocional, desde el punto de vista práctico, desde el punto de vista de las técnicas, un curador no va a poder hacer un buen show, un solo show de un artista, si no conoce a profundidad al artista a quien va a promover. Entonces hoy vamos a tener esto. Yo tenía días con ganas de hacer esto y no lo habíamos hecho. Hoy tenemos a dos artistas. Tenemos a Meg Cogburn, que es una artista americana nacida en Miami. Ella es o sea, lo que me encanta es que es nacida en la Florida. Ella después se mueve a otras áreas, a otros sitios de Estados Unidos, pero ella es de aquí, de la Florida, y eso me encanta. Y vamos a tener a su curadora, que es Milagros Bello, y vamos a estar conversando con ambas sobre esa relación fabulosa. Vamos a hablar con ambas de sus trayectorias, cómo han llegado aquí hasta hoy, y quizás en la segunda parte del programa vamos a hablar de un show que todavía está presentándose, que es una exposición fabulosa de Meg, y que Milagros ha llevado como curadora a hacerla fantástica. Entonces, we'll talk about Meg Cogburn. She's an American artist and designer from Miami Beach, Florida. She's a lifelong painter, printmaker. I would like about that. I love printmaking. Oh my God, I do love it.
So fun.
Yeah. And a customer who has primarily practiced architecture and design for the last 20 years. Meg graduated with honors from the University of Texas in Austin School of Architecture, where she also studied printmaking and enjoyed membership with Flavet Press. Currently based in Florida, she returns to a focus on painting is inspired of the spirit of the age and compelling a need to communicate societal critique through her experience as a woman, which I think is amazing combination. I mean, it's an artist, it's a woman, and she's talking about social things. I mean, that's things amazing. Devote of Catalan surrealism, Spanish Baroque, and Austrian expressionism, May describes her artist voice as a fusion of European formalism and primitivism, a marriage of her Dutch and Native American heritage, which I think is amazing. You know, it's European and Native American together. I think it's amazing. That's a combination that have to be beautiful, definitely. And now she's working through a lot of things, and now she's inspired in Bible themes, primitive folklore, and mysticism. Meg works in and informed by intensely personal experience. Generally speaking, right now, Meg is an artist who talks about the soul, about what's going on inside your head, inside your soul, and inside your heart. And she put that on colors, and she put that on canvas, which is amazing. We'll have also Milagros Bello, which is a Venezuelan curator. And Milagros Bello has a PhD in sociology with a doctoral thesis in sociology of arts from the Sorbonne University, Paris, and a master in history from the Sorbonne University, both in Paris, France. She obtained a BA in psychology, specializing in clinical psychology from the University Central of Venezuela, and followed with a master of courses in family and individual counseling in her home country, Venezuela. Dr. Bello has an art critic member of the International Association of Arts Critics, AACA, and a member of the National Federation of Psychologists of Venezuela. Right now, she's an independent curator and currently directs MIA Curator Project, directs MIA Curator Projects. Former Curator's Voice, our project founded in 2010. 2010, of course. Sorry. Well, this is the first time I do the program in English, which is fine. I mean, I love it.
Yes. Thank you.
So, she has from 2020 to 2010, she has curated a lot of exhibitions of contemporary art nationally and internationally, notably in April, November 2022, as part of the 59 Venice Biennale. She curated the exhibition Americanos Curing Imaginaries, which has an on display until November 2022 on the European Cultural Center in Venice, Italy. Well, as you can see, if you understand what I said, as you can see, Milagros has a really amazing background. She's a psychologist from the University of Venezuela, Central University of Venezuela, which we love, our university. She has been in La Sorbonne in Paris for PhD and doctors. So, she has a lot of background. She has been inside the world art for so long. And not only for art, for the human art, part of art, which I think that brings her really good to Meg, because they have been making a really good match together, because she knows about souls and Meg's too. So we're gonna welcome them and we're gonna let them talk about what's going on in their life. Very welcome, Meg. I'm so glad to have you here. And as I said, it's the first time I do an interview, or I don't like to talk them about interviews. I would like to talk about chats.
Sure.
We're gonna be chatting.
Yes.
So this is the first time I do it in English, but I think it's time to do it. Why not?
I feel very honored.
And I'm so glad you're here. And Milagros, welcome. We have been trying to do this for quite a long time, and I find that you're here. And I think the universe brings the right moments. I do believe in so. And this is the right moment to have Milagros here with me in the program, with you, Meg, and doing really nice work together. So let's talk about just life. First we're gonna talk to Meg, and about Meg. I know you're an architect, basically an architect and designer. But what happened in your life? What ways did you went through to come here today?
Well, with my art, I I started drawing when I was 1 year old. I was a child prodigy, and so I started reading and drawing realistically. much earlier than I could write.
Oh,
And
wow.
I told my mother that other people can write. I just want to read and draw.
Okay.
And,
Amazing.
playing the piano also at a very young age. And you really just couldn't stop me drawing. And my mother is very artistic, and she always provided me with materials to use, and whether it was fabric scraps or crayons or pens or paints or whatever, and they really encouraged me in my art.
That's
So,
very important.
yeah,
You know, I
that's
usually
nice.
ask for that because some families, I mean, they may see the child being
Yes.
artistic, but they don't care about it. And it's so important when family support
Yes.
and when family understand the needs of the child and they go for it.
Yes.
And it's so good. So it happens to you. Your family support you.
It was nice. I mean, I was fairly driven too. So if they hadn't gotten me things, I probably would have,
Okay.
been using
You will do it anyways.
scraping it into the wall or something. But
Yeah.
that's and actually when it came time to go to college, then they were fairly fearful of me being able to make a living as an artist, and so that's why the architecture.
Okay. Yeah.
But architecture was good to me for a long time, and architecture is really about humanity and people, and so that I think it really informed my art in that time.
You know, I
So,
have here, I would say many, or maybe few, maybe, artists that have the base, if the architecture. And I think all of them, they say that has been really helpful. Because the architecture gives the structure.
yes.
And it's very artistic too. I mean, when you do the models and the designs, I mean, that's art
Yes.
anyways.
Yes.
So give you the structure besides that. And like you said, it's really, it can be related with social things.
Yes.
So tell us about that. How did you relate with these social things?
Well, I feel like so I practiced architecture for 20-something years, and when I made some life changes, I got divorced and some things happened, I started painting again, and I really feel like that's when all of everything that came before in my art was practiced to this point, that before... I could make a beautiful print. I could, paint something that was, nice, and but I didn't have something to say until that point, and so it kind of all gelled together. And for me, paintings are a way to state your observations about life and human condition in a way that maybe is difficult to talk about with people.
Yeah.
So.
Because I agree. I think art is a vehicle.
Yes.
It's like a vehicle to express whatever is inside.
Yes.
I mean, because like you said, sometimes words are not enough, or maybe you don't find the words.
Yeah.
So you can paint them. You
Yes.
can paint the feelings. You can paint your soul, and
Yes.
you can put your soul on canvas. I mean, which is, I think, is amazing. Milagros, what do you think about this? I mean, tell me also, how did you get here today? I mean, you are Venezuelan. I know you have been in the United States for a really long time. And what brings you here, or what brought you here? Why did you decide? How did you decide to get involved with this artist? Marvelous.
Well, the process was very very slow. We got connected to review and assess and do our coaching together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry about my voice. We've been talking so much.
It's okay.
In the at the beginning was discovering
Yeah.
the base, the nucleus of the works,
Okay.
each one of them. But slowly I start capturing there was something very profound, very meaningful, and very well connected, not only to Meg, but
Yeah.
also connected to a deep research on sociocultural aspects. Every work is based in Meg's, is based on a process of capturing dreams or insights. But the second step is very serious and professional in the way that she connects all these figures, all these dreams-based sketches that she does or drawings to universal meanings. And that's what I love. I mean, the profundity that an artist has when it goes from one personal level to a beyond part of what is this meaning universally talking.
Yeah.
What archetypes, what prototypes, what are the cultures related that, or she could relate to her work.
Yeah.
That was my first step. And then we were talking, she was producing works profusely, and I was discovering the works, and I say, and then she was participating in some of my curated shows with one or two works. We started with that. And I started listening in the art talk what she was saying, in the deep orientation of her artistic attitude towards art. And I saw all the works and say, we have to do a solo show. People have to see this together.
Okay.
People have to share your universe. And in each one of them is a message. Not only is a Meg's passage of her life, but also a process of connection to knowledgeable sources. This is what I like. She studies a lot about civilizations, about religions, about social criticism, about humanity, about the conditions of society, the wars, the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And that really motivated me to go forward with her into exhibiting this body of work.
Yeah, because, definitely a solo show is the only way to really discover the artist. I mean, because when you have a collective, maybe you have, like you said, one or two pieces of the artist, and you cannot see the whole thing, the real thing. So when you see a solo show, you can see even, it's amazing. Sometimes you can see from one piece to the last one, you can see a whole process of the growing of the artist, or maybe not the growing, but the suffering, the insights, and you can see it in a solo show. I mean, there is no way you can see that in a collective show. So that's why curators are so important, because they put together that solo show in order that people, the audience can see the history, the real meaning of the whole thing. Meg.
Yes.
So you, I have seen your work, and at least the last work, and it comes from the really, really, really inside. I mean, you have been, as you said, we have been talking about this just a little bit. You have been through a lot of things as a person, as a woman.
Yes.
And I think the women work, or women world, is so amazing.
Thank you.
And I think I am not saying I am not a feminist. Yes, I fight for the rights of women, but I'm not a feminist, in that kind of way.
I feel the same way. Exactly. Yeah.
And I love men. Of course, I have been married for 47 years. I love men.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, so I don't have anything against them. I criticize them when I have to.
Yes.
But I think the war inside women's head are so amazing. I mean, we do relate to things in a different way. Different way. So tell us, Meg, how did you deal with your women thing, your womanhood, and put it there in your art?
I think at that time that I was painting those pieces, I was going through a divorce and really a big change in my life. I really lost my identity. So I wasn't the college student I was 25 years before, and I wasn't the the mother of 4 in Northwest Hills, Austin. That
Okay.
I was transitioning out of all these things, and it really made me reflect on these roles in womanhood and the feelings that I had about them through this transition, and that's. And it was the first time I think I've really felt brave enough to express the feelings that I've had about womanhood throughout my life. Architecture was very difficult. When I graduated, there were no women in architecture.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different world.
Everybody building everything were men, and so it was a difficult world to navigate initially. And anyway, that's pretty much, you can, I think, assume any role you want, but you're still tied to your gender and your biology, and society is still going to, assign these roles to you. And that's kind of what my work tries to reflect on.
Yeah, I love it because, it takes bravery. It takes a lot of guts sometimes to talk about or to paint about whatever we feel.
Yes.
Sometimes in a men's world, that we usually call it that way. I mean, it's a men's world, which I don't use it that much, but I think basically it's a men's world. I mean, sometimes the women world doesn't fit. So I think it takes a lot of bravery and feelings, and to be able to talk about what's going on.
Yes.
And we do go about so many things, motherhood. Somebody asked me these days, women play so many roles. I mean, for example, in my case, woman, wife, friend, grandmother, communicator.
Yes.
And they say, well, which of these roles do you like the best? And I say, well, I like them all.
They're all you.
Yeah, they're all me. I like them all because, I mean, I am no more a communicator than a grandmother, of course not, but I am not a grandmother more than a wife or a person or a mother or whatever. I think we have to make a balance, a really good balance, and I think the artists have an extra thing to do.
Yes.
It's like besides you're an artist.
Yes.
It's like it's another role, and I think it's very important because it's a communication role. Because I think, as I always said, art doesn't belong to the people who makes the art. Belongs to the people to give the art.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I feel. Especially, well, not especially, but I think every art. But when you write literature, I mean, you're writing, but you are giving it.
Yes.
For somebody to read it.
Sure.
And how feel, and how they relate to your work. So I think it's really, really, it's another role which is very important. How do you feel about that, Milagros, about this, all the things?
It's always a very complex situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we women, we have to deal with so many levels.
So many levels.
Of challenges.
Yes.
In roles, in demands, in perfectionism from society.
Yeah.
And I think when women go through this process, they really have to cope with it and fight into the different roles and create something. Mm. Meg has many children, and so already grown up.
Why you have 4 kids?
4 children.
Oh
yes.
my God! Wow.
I love them. They're fantastic.
Of course,
They're already grown up.
Yeah, they are big guys already. Like big girls
and one girl. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And even for me, when I was in Venezuela, I remember I was as a jury, and there was only me. I was getting back from Paris and starting to integrate myself in Venezuela. And they invited me to be part of the jury. And suddenly, well, this is an anecdote.
We love those.
Yes. I went to the bathroom, and when I got back, the 2 men, they were just crossing out the works with a chalk. No, yes, no, like 10, 15 works. You say, what do you do? This has to be a discussion. You have to explain me why you say yes or no.
Yeah.
It's not that I like or I don't like. You have to give me analysis, arguments. I mean, the challenge of the what is good in the work or what is not accomplished in the work. And they was, oh, no, you don't make so much problem. And I say, well, if you don't review it with me, I go to the press and I resign as a jury. And I would explain the reasons. Wow, immediately they sat there and they start going one by one to the work they already. This is an anecdote, but it's difficult.
Yeah, but it pictures really good the thing about women and men. Sometimes, it pictures really good what.
And that was a long time ago. I was very young, and even that's not power. Probably now they won't.
No problem. Probably now they won't do that. but if they try to, we will do.
They do.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, they do. Of course.
The only thing, we already got some responses, very intelligent, prepared, and experienced.
Yeah.
And we know how to deal with it in a way that is good for both parts.
Yeah. Before, when we were young, we were maybe more, and now we.
And astonished.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened here?
Yeah,
why did you do that?
But very good that you were very young and you were still, you were very aware of what was going on. Okay. So I think for the time we need to go to a little break for the advertisement of the radio. And it's going to take about 3 minutes. I will be back with Meg and Milagros in this really, really nice chat. We'll be back.
Muy buenos días.
Si tienes una idea de negocio o un negocio establecido, debes estar aquí. En Business Expo por Community Networker, el lugar ideal para relacionarte y hacer nuevas alianzas de negocios, además de conferencias que hablarán sobre las últimas tendencias de negocio. Para más información, envía un mensaje de texto al 786-312-7675. Business Expo Doral es organizado por Community Networker.
Yo me especializo en todo tipo de lesiones personales. En mi oficina nosotros representamos a las personas que han sido lesionadas por la negligencia de otro, es decir, accidente de carro, resbalón y caída, un asalto en un parqueo, todo tipo de lesión. En nuestra oficina nosotros nos tomamos el tiempo para entender la necesidad de la persona que está llamando. Entendemos que estás llamando en un momento difícil en tu vida, donde estás lesionado. Nosotros nos comunicamos con el cliente, lo ayudamos a buscar atención médica y le explicamos y lo educamos en todo lo que es la parte legal del caso. Es importante contratar a un abogado de confianza, a alguien que entienda sus problemas específicos y personalmente.
Si hay algo que nos caracteriza en Doral es la buena comida y los grandes eventos. Por eso, impacta a tus invitados con Brunella Catering, donde encontrarás un menú variado y a muy buen precio. No te vas a equivocar. Llama a Brunella Catering al 786-329-2913 o búscalos en Instagram bajo @Brunella Catering. Déjales dicho que te recomendaron de Doral Voice Community Radio. El Venezolano News, decano del periodismo de primera por más de 30 años en el sur de la Florida. Búscalo semanalmente en múltiples puntos de Doral o visítalos en su página web elvenezolanonews.com. En tiempos difíciles, una celebración puede ser bien costosa. Eternity Events te puede ayudar a decorar y preparar tus fiestas con excelencia y calidad. Llámate a Valentina al 786-991-3967 o búscalos en las redes sociales bajo Eternity Events para que puedas ver la calidad de los eventos que Eternity Events ofrece.
Bueno, aquí estamos de vuelta. We are back with our friends today, Milagros and Meg. And this part of the program, we're going to be talking about the solo show that Meg has already until tomorrow, which is, right on time. We have the program right on time. I think the universe works, We got it right on time, because tomorrow is the last day of the solo show of Meg. And in this gallery of Milagros Gallery, where the show is going on, we can see some images of the talk about the show. And in this case, I mean, we would not talk about with both of them, but I would like Milagros to tell us, how did you put this together? I mean, how did you... Now let's talk about this match between the artist and the curator. How did you got into this? How did you talk? I mean, how do you decide what goes here, what goes there? You know, he said things, you say things. How did you go to get this done? So we still have some images, but Milagros, you know, just tell us how it works, how it was. I mean, like,
I was very interested into the womanhood and the representation of women in her works, in Meg's works. And I saw that many were there converging to the different stages any woman can pass by in their life.
of course.
So they were representing the teenager in one of the work, and then another one was nobody, was the process of woman getting from one point to another, recovering her identity. This is universal, not only Meg's, but Meg captured that so deeply and so sharply in her figures. And then another one that was Crossroads. It's that really captured my attention because it's a woman with the head in flames.
I think we have that picture. I think we have this picture of the woman with the lines and with the fire on their head. I think we do have it. It's Crosswords.
I think you projected before.
Yeah.
And it's,
Oh my God, fire! You know,
It's me.
Yeah, it's you. I mean, it's like on fire. Okay, there we have it. Yes.
and so in here you can see any generic woman in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, passing through flames with these enigmatic eyes that doesn't express any particular psychology, looking into the void, into the emptiness, very sober. And also with these geometries in there that I like Meg to explain to the audience. But that one, even it's a small work, it doesn't matter the size.
Yeah.
But it's so sharp, so strong. It touches any woman.
Yeah.
It captures the questions of what is this? What is happening in there? So figurative nowadays are very expressive, are very connected to the personal life of the artist. I was yesterday in Paris Art Museum giving a guided tour, and I was there, Firelei Baez, for example, and it was a woman with a face that was faded and completely crossed out. And I say, this is a condition that every woman in society passes by.
Yes. Yes.
And so this is important because it captured another one is descent into illuminated dream. This is a woman sinking out in dark waters.
I think we have that picture too, with the woman going into the waters. I think we
And
do.
it's so
This
deep,
one.
so profound. Well, this is
this another
Hang
one.
Woman,
Okay.
which
Okay.
is also very powerful.
Yeah.
This one also because this is based on the Tarot or the Genesis, but it's Eve. It's a pregnant woman. It's not a man. Even always Meg insists that, well, this is a generic figure. People see there a woman.
Yeah. I mean,
with-
yeah, of course.
And their babies at the bottom of the tree, those babies represents the unborn to be born in the cycle of life. Like you said, what you could say about this work
Yeah, yes.
to us?
The work is really about, it's a juxtaposition of societal roles that are placed on women and how we're tied to our biology versus reality. So the hangman is an Eve figure. She's hanging upside down and she's enhaloed with her new perspective, which is what the card, the hangman, is about, this acceptance of fate and your new perspective in life. She's hanging from the tree of knowledge, bound by the world serpent. And she has this new knowledge, but through this, she's been cursed to bear children in pain and sorrow, which, growing up in a very religious household, I always thought that was, how fair is that? That everything's going to be, the fall of humanity is going to be blamed on us, right?
Okay.
But we're the ones raising everybody and having all the kids. And so also Adam is cursed to work hard and return to the dust. We're going to die now. And so the babies are coming from the dust, and we return to the dust. And then in the background are atmospheric rabbits that are celebrating. And they're inspired by the 400 Aztec rabbits of drunkenness. And they represent, just that the reality of procreation and life, that it's a celebration, and that's so you're bound to your biology, and regardless of the role you want to play and societal roles placed on you, but the real world is the dancing rabbits in the air.
Okay, beautiful.
But what I like is the way she portrayed a woman hanging.
Yeah.
You say, wow, this is part of the concern about what is the condition of women all over the whole history.
Yeah.
I mean the women hanging there, but the babies are there.
Yeah, we have been hanging on for so many years. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, that's amazingly
Thank you.
put on there.
And what I love also is the rabbits as the playful part of life. I mean, it's also could be suffering, but it's also celebration. It's also the promise of being reborn from the babies.
Yes.
Which is nice, because sometimes you see works that are really, really dark, and they don't give you the opportunity to feel about hope, and rebirth.
Yes.
And I think your work talks about both, which is life. Finally, life is light and darkness, is happiness and sadness, and is dying and rebirth. I mean, it's like that's life. I mean,
Yes.
you cannot talk about life in only one way. I mean, there is always suffering, but there is not always happiness.
Yes.
Because some people insist you have to look for happiness. You have to be happy. Of course, yeah, okay, we want to be happy. Of course, we have to. We need to. But we don't have to spend our life searching as crazies for happiness, because
Yes.
dark and pain and suffering is also there. And so we have to know how to deal with it. That's it, basically. So what I like about your work in this case is that you talk about both.
Thank you.
You don't talk only about suffering or happiness, or you make them both.
I think the acceptance and the acknowledgement of both is what allows you to forgive and hope and,
of course,
and live in balance. That
live
way.
in balance.
Yes.
That I love. That balance that keeps you going.
Yes.
I mean, knowing where to go. I mean, I think balance makes you to know where to go. And I think in your work is really, you can see it. It's a really, really well shown. So I think you did a great job together. And there is I think there were how many works were there in the
like around 20, because then we were talking and I discovered she has a full body of drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Which some of them serve for creating paintings as the base, studies, but then I discovered others that are in process to be paintings, but they are autonomous as drawings. And what can you tell us about those drawings? For example, the one that is the world with the poet, with the poem inside.
So that is a study for painting, a tarot painting, and it will have a calligram on it, which is a poem that's in the shape that relates to the poem. Like
I think they are all here in the book.
It's all the no,
probably in here we just put all the paintings.
Oh wow, they are so wow, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, it's the tarot card. The world is about stepping into acceptance of your achievement or fame would be sort of the classical art piece interpretation of this. But so the poem on it is Kubla Khan by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Mm-hmm. And this poem has always been very meaningful to me. It's about artistic creation and artistic birth, but it speaks to it through this mythology of Kubla Khan and the pleasure dome being created, and how the earth split and the waters gushed in, and it's a very beautiful poem. So that overlays this
in spirals.
Yes.
Yeah, in spirals, which
Yeah.
is
It's a sacred spiral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spirals are amazing. Life is a spiral, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And that's why I found that Meg uses very important geometrical overlays in the paintings. Tell us what is the meaning of those geometrical.
Well, I like
aspect.
the spiral a lot because I see in life we're constantly rebirthing and repeating things we do over and over, and that's opportunity for growth and rebirth. And but I also a lot of what I do looks to mythologies. Stories are very important. I think it's what gives us meaning in life and our culture, whether it's religion or fairy tales or mythos or a book you read or a movie or water cooler talk. This is what brings us all together. So these I think Milagros is referring to the voodoo veves that are in some of the pieces that overlay like the crossroads and nobody, and those. So in the crossroads, this is the veve of Elegua, and he is the spirit that opens the gateway between the spiritual and the physical realm.
Okay.
So in the voodoo religion, you have to inscribe his veve before and call upon him before you can access any of the other spirits.
Interesting.
So that was a time where I was opening myself to the universe and change and what was going to happen. And so that's the overlay of Elegua on that painting.
And that's what I like, because we have some prejudgments about religions, and when we talk about voodoo, mostly in Venezuela, people say, "Ooh, what are you talking about? What child?" And we have to see that in a wider perspective.
Well, here too.
I mean,
No, I think it's universal. I think when you talk about voodoo, people
to talk
find
about
Well, it's portrayed
badness,
in movies just as a crazy thing. So that's
or about doing bad things to people,
Yeah.
or killing animals. They don't go beyond that, like looking voodoo as a pantheon that was created in Africa.
Yes.
And that was the legacy to Latin America and to Central America when the slaves came here, and they brought it in here. So Elegua, in the wider sense, is a god. It belongs to a pantheon that has sense, profound sense in the people in Africa. But here, they have been distorting all these conceptions through the middle massive, practices from anyone. But at the end, the bottom line, when you overlay those images, geometrical elements, you were convoking energetic, powerful forces of the universe, not really referring to the Santero, the other one that did some bad ceremony against one, and one person. So we have to detach that level of, popular beliefs about voodoo as a very profound religion that came from Africa. That's different.
That's pretty interesting, very interesting, because I love this opportunity to talk about it, because basically when we talk about voodoo, people, goes one step back.
Yeah.
It's like, well, oops.
Or you're going to harm me.
Yeah.
You're going to do bad to me.
So I think it's really good that we can talk about it. And talk about as a belief that comes from another culture, and, you have a lot of interesting things to go through. It's very nice. very nice. I mean, as you can see, your work have a lot of things to talk about. It's amazing. Like we were at the show the other day and in the lecture, and well, this is the catalog that of the show. Beautiful catalog, by the way.
Thank you.
And I'll keep it. It's so beautiful. Wow, really good job, Milagros. Wow, beautiful. Yeah. And also this and this, beautiful. And besides, I had this book, which we make a, how you say, raffle?
Yes.
Raffle. Did I say it? Yes.
And you won it.
Yeah. Okay. And this is the book they were raffling.
That's it.
Say
You
that.
got it.
Okay, I got it. So I got it.
Yes.
And I have the signature and everything from Meg. It was amazing. So this is one of my treasures because I have never been a collector. Never. I don't collect things. I don't. But lately, with the program, artists give me little things, like a book or a catalog or whatever it is, and I have been collecting them, and I think these are my treasures. Now I have like a box full of treasures.
Oh.
It's amazing.
That's lovely.
They are beautiful. They are all of beautiful. This is one of mine's treasures.
Yes.
They're gonna go to my treasure box.
Yeah, because I think you're very sensitive to what you are connecting to the artist, to the creation, to the passion.
Yeah, because
it's not just passing by like a spectator. You get into.
Yeah, I do because I think especially art is something that you cannot surf, like surfing over the waves when you talk about art. I mean, it's like, I see it, I like it, or don't. No, it's not the way to get related to the art. I think you have to feel it, you have to connect with it, and I that's what I love about this. That's what I love about this. The connection with the artists, the connection with you guys that promote these all things that so they can happen. They can happen.
And this is important because it talks to what is the process of connecting one curator to an artist. Usually the curators are looking, some of them are very, arrogant, and then, well, that doesn't mean that I'm not being in one moment or other arrogant, but it's easy to be, rejectful, easy rejecting things that doesn't touch us. But in this case, in my process, I've been connecting with the artist in another level, soul to soul, heart to heart, where what is important is discover what is the passion of the artist.
Yeah, and I think most, well, I won't say most, but a lot of people say that the egos of the artists are so big. They have
and the ego of us as curators.
Yeah. I mean, everybody says that. Like the curators and the artists, they have such a big ego. And they are hard to. But I think, you have to go over that. We must go over that. And I have been relating lately with so many artists, and when I see the egos coming, and I say, no way, there is no way I can connect with the ego.
Yeah.
So I just, I try to go to another place out of the ego because, it's normal. Because creation.
Well, I don't feel that way about us at all, though.
No.
That's really,
no, I don't feel
because
it
I
right
want to
now.
learn something when I talk to somebody. I want to find out all about
Of
you
course,
and everything you believe in and what you do. And
That's what I say. People
Yeah.
say, that egos are so strong. Sometimes they are, of course. Why not? Because the thing of creation. Creation is such a big thing.
Yes.
But at the end, everybody's a creator. So,
yes.
What is the big difference between an artist and another person? Actually, we are all creators. We are all creators, one way or another. So, I mean, when we talk about that, we are all creators. I mean, egos go away.
Go away.
Because
we become more humans and connected
humans.
to another
Of course.
level.
That's
which is not competition, which
Exactly.
is not demonstrating the other one, I'm above you.
I'm better than you. Whatever.
Or I'm not going to accept you because I feel you're above me. On the contrary.
Yeah.
And this is a process of discovery, of human discovery.
Which is amazing. Yeah. I think we are kind of going to finish in 3 more minutes. So we're going to take those 3 minutes to, I'm going to give you these little things. This is for you. This is for you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
These are
Wow,
photos
that's
of that
amazing.
I take once in a while, and this series called Solitude,
It's beautiful.
because they are solitude, and that's why they are black and white. And this is my way to say thank you for you to be here in the program with me. And I think we got a beautiful time.
Oh, yours is different.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
very,
that. Yes.
very poetic.
It's
Yeah, it
beautiful.
is.
It gives you evocations about women, the flowers they had,
Yep.
sitting in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
and the emptiness.
Wandering, emptiness, wandering,
Wow.
and womanhood, everything. Yeah.
It reminds me to Virginia Woolf.
Yeah, in a way,
Yes,
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 it does. It does. Yes, it does.
And
Yeah.
this is where I would be playing my ukulele. This is very me. This is
Okay.
a moment I would treasure.
see?
Yes,
You see?
on the-
Oh,
Don't you
wow,
think? Yes,
beautiful. All the water surrounding
Yeah,
the chairs.
beautiful. And
me
I
on
mean,
my island. Yes.
so you
Lovely.
see,
Yeah.
universe plays a role. I mean,
It does.
why did I give you that one, and why did I give you that other one? I mean, it's like
Yes.
it was for you. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't think about it, but it was for you.
Yes.
So the universe do whatever it have to do. So I'm very glad.
Yes, and talking about that, I would like to invite everybody, if they
Yeah.
can, to come to our last day, the closing of the show, which is tomorrow, Sunday 26. And it's going to be kind of mini brunch and sharing with the artist, with me.
Okay.
If she's going to bring the ukulele, if she feels she's going to play it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
part of
sounds
her
fun.
Musician, soul.
The other,
also.
that's the other part of Meg, the
Yes.
musician, the
Yeah.
musician woman, and it's gonna be from
It's from 12:30 to 4.
Okay.
And you can come. It's very easy to park. It's in Little Haiti. It's the place where I'm showing my projects in Mia Curatorial Projects, which is my curatorial space / forward gallery.
Okay.
But I'm mainly a curator. What I do there is my passion in my shows is just product of my intellectual, my analysis, not from just putting a show just to sell them.
Yes.
No, it's just to share what is happening in the arts.
Yeah,
And selling, of course.
Well,
but
of
the main
course.
purpose
I mean,
is
of course. I mean,
You have
it
to
is-
go
it's-
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
the dream for them.
I just don't. I am not afraid of talking about selling because I mean,
Exactly.
every artist need to sell, and it's another part of it, But it could be not the more important. Sometimes could be really important. But finally, you need to sell. But the first thing have to be that one. Share.
Above all,
and,
have to be a
yes,
very
Yes.
deep process
yes,
of what is the voice of the artist we are presenting.
yes.
And then that goes to selling, but from another point of view, not from the pure commercial point of view.
Yeah,
from
which
the
I
connection
like.
to the value of the work.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I say it's different in a store. You just go to a shop and put your work there.
Yeah.
In Alton Road, it would be great.
Yeah.
But that's not the main purpose. Combine both of them. Combine your soul with your audience, and then attach is the selling.
Yeah, of
But
course.
not the main purpose is the commercial. In
It go-
Miami,
one thing
we see that.
one thing comes to the other. I mean,
Exactly.
it's like you get together, you get in touch with it, and then maybe you want to buy it. You want to buy it. Okay, so
Oh, I'm so fortunate to have found Milagros because I really paint just to paint, and I'm not very concerned about selling them, but I couldn't really connect with a gallery in the area in the way I felt was meaningful, and so this is now my paintings are finding a place, and that was my dream for them.
And the people were looking
yes.
for the price, price list.
Yes.
Okay, so everything came together. So, okay, so we are out of time. I would like to say thank you again to both of you. I think we got a great time. We talk about life, and we talk about art, and we talk curator, and we talk artists, and we talk life, and I think it's amazing. So thank you for being here.
Thank you to you, Elsa.
And we'll see. I'll try. I'm not sure, but I'll try to get together with you tomorrow. I'll do my best.
You're gonna get the ukulele play.
I don't want to miss the ukulele play. It's like, wow, nice. So we are saying goodbye to this amazing couple of people. We had a great time, and I say that is we're gonna switch to Spanish right now. Los despido por este viernes. Les deseo que pasen un excelentísimo fin de semana. Nos vemos el próximo viernes en otro excelente programa donde podamos compartir sobre arte, vida, historias, anécdotas, que es lo más importante. Que tengan un excelente fin de semana. Nos vemos el próximo viernes. Hasta luego.